Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great weekend so far, and welcome to your daily, of course, Bitcoin update. All right, we'll do a full update on hopefully everything you need to know regarding Bitcoin. Yesterday we got some bullish momentum in the afternoon. I'll tell you what happened, and I'll tell you what's most likely right now, and just in general, what type of move that was, because it was more of it was not necessarily momentum, but it was more. And we talked about that yesterday already. What usually happens in the weekend is that the volume for Bitcoin drops down a bit. So then you need less capital to actually make the price move. And what we talked about yesterday already as well is that if you look at where most of the liquidity is for Bitcoin, it was up there, right here at 51,500. Now there's quite a lot at 52,000 and also still quite some at 53,000. I think most liquidity right now is actually still to the upside. So that's positive. But it was just a short squeeze, all right? So the price was pushed up with less capital than normal because it was the weekend. It grabbed that liquidity, and that is what happened. You can also see right here that the open interest went down as the price went up. So that means that more positions were closed when the price went up, which means that the shorts were squeezed out of their positions, right? And then the open interest drops down. So that is what happened yesterday. Now that does have implications for the technical structure right now for Bitcoin. In general, what I usually say, and I'll tell you it again today, is that the Sunday to Monday range is usually quite volatile, all right? Because like I said, I mean, even though the volume has increased a little bit at times, it's still quite low. It's still at $16 billion. It's still down 15% over the last 24 hours. So I expect that, even though usually the volume is around 20 or even 30 billion. So what's going to happen is that new capital is going to flow into the markets, and that's going to make the market move in a more volatile way. All right. But in general, my thoughts on Bitcoin as they were yesterday still stand. All right. So if you remember what I said yesterday, is that yesterday we already knew that most of the liquidity was to the upside, all right? So what I told you is that, all right, well, I still think even though Bitcoin, I would say, is the weakest it's been since getting into this range, the 14th of February, I would still say it's most likely that we'll respect the market structure, because I think the market structure for Bitcoin right now is still a consolidation between 50,500 and ultimately, well, let's say 53,000, but mostly 52,500. So if you acknowledge that that's the market structure, then you would also say that, all right, then it's most likely that after hitting the bottom, we'll get to the top. So that's the first confluence, I would say, suggesting that, you know, we might have a little bit of a drop down to 51,300 today, but that after that we will find support there and rally up higher, or move up higher. It's not really a rally, but move up higher towards the upper side of this range. So purely technically, that's most likely. And like I said, it's also that most of the liquidity is still there. It's pretty close. It's not that far away, but still, I mean, like I said, there's also quite a lot at 53,000. We expect some volatility, so who knows what's possible? Maybe we can actually spike up there. Now, do I think we're going to get a big bullish breakout? No. All right. The open interest has increased a little bit, as you can see right here. There's a slight increase, you could say, so that could lead to something. And I do think that this is, especially if you look at the CVD going up right here, after that the open interest going up, I do think this is another confluence for some more bullish momentum here. But it would need to increase much more to actually have a real bullish breakout. So for now, I think it's most likely, but be careful, because we can have some bigger spikes over the course of the next 24 hours, like I said. But overall, I do think it's most likely that we'll get up to that top. And for now, I still think it's also most likely that we'll respect that resistance and drop back down to the bottom. But I'll keep you updated on that. All right. For now, those are my thoughts. So if you do have any questions, of course, let me know. But yeah, have a great rest of your Sunday. Take care, and I'll see you all tomorrow.